Alrighty, hey guys, I'm here with amazing Laura, and she went from feeling stuck and frustrated to feeling that she's in action, that she can be in action, she has control. Um, in this interview, we're going to talk about the workshop, what she experienced in those 5 days, and we're going to get like helpful experiences from Laura's life on how she dealt with certain situations throughout all of her life. This would be really helpful with tips and tricks for everyone. Alrighty, Laura, how are you today, first of all?
I'm doing very well, and thank you for having me on today. It's lovely to see you again.
Yes, it is. Thank you for coming. Laura,
Beautiful.
so what
Yes,
made you join the workshop initially?
I'm a person that likes to learn all the time. So when I get the opportunity of learning something new, learning strategies, tips, hacks, whatever you want to call them, but anything and everything, I just went for it. And I thought, yes, I'd like to see what knowledge, what more I can learn for myself because I believe in growth. It's very, very important.
I love that because I'm the exact same.
Mm.
I would read books, jump on workshops, jump into I like the personal development
Yeah.
sector that we are in this current
Mm.
day. I love it. I love it. So I'm with you with that. I love learning.
Beautiful. Yes, absolutely.
Alrighty, so you joined the workshop because you wanted to learn. What did you learn from that 5 day workshop? Okay, I started in the beginning that you were frustrated and you were stuck, and then you moved into action. What, in your own words, what did you learn in that workshop?
There's a variety of things. I can't say it was just one thing but I think the combination of all of them together helped me because sometimes I get too much in my own head, and that's why I'm stuck. I overthink things and I get overwhelmed, and so I don't get into action. Whereas it was interesting because the first thing that we talked about was about a feeling, and I went through a situation where I experienced anger and frustration. And if you remember, I didn't know, was the anger from the frustration or was the frustration from the anger? And it was good to sort of break that down because I didn't really want to be an angry person. I've never seen myself as an angry person. So you taught me of how to look at the situation. And I did come to the conclusion that it was actually frustration first, which then I suppose brought out some anger in me. So that was good to look at that as well. I think another thing that I knew about but didn't really consider of doing much was the breath work, right?
Mm.
And that really does make a difference. And you even reminded me that I used to do it in the past and I have forgotten to. So it reminded me to actually get back to it and do it because it is important. It does help you in different situations that you experience, whether it is frustration, whether it is stuckness, whether it is uncertainty, but just slowing down, stopping, and then just doing the breath work. Even maybe just doing breath work before you know you've got something important to do, or
100%.
a choice that you have to make, a decision, whatever. So that I found very useful as well. And I think one other thing that was really good was that you mentioned about something that is gave us shame or disappointed us or we were upset about, and it was this issue, problem, whatever you want to call it, and the three ways of dealing with it. And I thought that was very, very helpful. So that was good. And I would apply that to many other situations as they arise in my life. So that was good. Mm.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
I I love that about the breathwork because I never knew how important breathwork was until I started free diving.
Yeah.
It never even clicked to me. It was, and it's so obvious, right?
Yeah.
We breathe every day. It's what, I mean, even when you get afraid, and when you're like exhaling, you go, like,
Yeah.
once you like come to realize this sphere, this, whole new world of breathwork, it really does
Yeah.
teach us that we can master and control our emotions with just that simple expression, hey, take a breather.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure that's yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where the expression came from, right? Take
Yeah.
a breather.
Yeah. Because I think that often happens to us when we have either a shock or a surprise or something awful happen to us, then and we do tend to just take in that breath and hold it. And
Yes.
yes, we do literally forget to breathe, don't we? So breath work is vital, it's important. So the more we learn the different kinds of breath work and to remember to apply them to different incidents of our lives, it will really help us a lot. And I think that was very, very really important for me. So I did like that point. Look, I felt awful because I used to think breath work, not that I rubbish it, nothing. We know how to breathe.
No.
We all know how to breathe. But concentrated, intentional breath work that
Yeah.
makes all the difference.
Yeah, I was the same. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, breathwork until I experienced free diving. When I experienced
Mm,
free diving, like years ago, I was like, oh my gosh, how silly was
yeah.
I? Like, it's, yeah, whole new world. And I also do love how you mentioned that exercise that we did on the third day, because when we go, so guys, who's ever watching this, whenever we do the 5 days, I do little challenges. So
Mm,
each challenge will reflect something so that we can actually tap into rewiring your brain. So the exercise that Laura is talking about is that we either crunch it, we rip it, or we bend the feeling or that situation in our life that we experience, and we say what we
mm,
want to do with it. So I do love that you did take that insight out of it, because experiencing the workshop and then taking the practical insight
mm.
out of it are two different dynamics, and it also takes a skill, to implement and keep
Yeah.
implementing. So well done.
Mm, mm. And also, I think the fact that it's funny, but sometimes you think, okay, you have homework to do and different um, skills to apply, whatever, and you think, oh, but I may not have anything in my life with which to use for that task or to fulfill that task. Yet every day of the 5 days, I actually had something that I could actually apply that skill to. So it was, helpful for every day. So
Yeah,
that was really interesting too. So it was, look, yes, really, really good strategy. So I really enjoyed it. And not to
awesome.
mention getting to know other people, that was lovely as well.
Yes, I must admit that group that we
Yeah.
had was so beautiful. And even like the
Mm,
transformation, the shift on day
yeah.
5, however, everybody came, it was, yeah, and
It,
even the conversations, the group chat, because community is so important.
yeah.
So important. And nowadays, unfortunately, with this ever growing piece of AI and technology, like statistics have shown that there is more
Yeah.
mental health, more depression, more
Mm,
anxiety,
yeah.
because we don't have community.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah, the group was amazing, especially how everybody was encouraging everybody on
yes, yes, yes. And the
the
chat
group
group is
chat.
still going,
Yes, yes, awesome,
which is
awesome,
good.
awesome.
Lovely. Yeah.
Okay, Lara, so we had really good insights from the workshop. Can you take out one insight from what you experienced? And it's been a couple of weeks now since the workshop.
Mm.
Have you implemented just anyone that you say that, okay, like I've implemented that and that's really gonna stay? And how is it helping you?
I think that bit about being stuck as well, and looking at it. And I can apply really any of the skills that we learned, you know, even the breath work and being present. That was another thing. And now I often stop and think, okay, just be present in how things are and what things are. And like you said, using your senses, you know, seeing and hearing and touching and I think that is good too because we rush all the time through the day and we don't really stop. And a lot of the, I suppose, skills are really to bring you back down, to slow you down and to connect with yourself, I suppose. So I think that was the one big thing because the breath work, the different tasks, the being present, all of them for me makes you think, okay, stop looking for your solution outward and start looking for it inward. And you've got all the answers inside of you. So, you know, all the skills that we learned helped me, I believe, and reminded me that I do have them within me and I can apply them to whatever I do during the day, you know, be it work, be it relationships,
Yeah.
be it finances, anything and everything. So that helped a lot. That really, really
Yeah.
did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I I love this because you know what? I have heard a lot from a lot of people who have attended the workshop that it's the simplicity in the
Mm,
challenges and the tasks and the homeworks that they say, wow, like I did know about this, but I just never implemented it. And that's the
mm.
like the shift, the breakthrough, the
Yes.
you know that we're looking for. And sometimes it's something so simple, you know, it could be like this
Mm,
the size of a speck of a dust. And you're just like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
It's like how we were saying
Exactly.
the same thing, you know, about breathwork.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
I do hear it from people like when I tell them, oh, we'll have mini challenges or homework, they get scared. They'd be like, oh, challenges or homework, what's that? But the challenges and the homework, it's like 3 minutes. I think the most of it's a 3 minute thing. It's a simple exercise and it's just
Yeah.
literally there to
Yeah.
rewire, reprogram consciously, change the way we think.
Mm,
So
mm. But that's exactly, you said the right thing. It's simplification. It's simplifying. It's because we complicate our lives, our work, our relationships, everything. And these very, very simple tasks that you sort of think at first, you think, is that it? Is that all? You know? And then by the time you've actually done it and looked at it, and then you look at how you feel about it, you know, it is. It's like they're all little mini transformations along the way, aren't they?
yes, and that's the thing about overcomplicating things because I think we as humans have
Mm,
so accustomed ourselves to overcomplicate things that when
yes.
something simple comes our way, the
Mm,
amygdala, which is the fight, the flight, and the
mm.
freeze, immediately says, no, 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 no. Exactly.
Exactly. And that's
Don't come
true.
near me. But usually, when we should be like embracing it because it's so simple, but because we've
Yeah.
conditioned ourselves with, overcomplicating things, sometimes
Yes.
we think like, is this a scam? That's what
Yeah.
our brain would think, like,
Yeah.
there's a scam, there's something.
Yes. Yes. And that's, I suppose, it comes down to some people that I know a lot of people now can't sit in silence or can't just rest in
Mm,
silence. They have to have the television or the computer or there's music or there's something in the background, even if it's visual and no noise. And that's it's just not healthy. It's not good. We should be able to just quieten everything down and like you said, be still, you know, and just sit in stillness, which and that's a simple thing to do as well. But it's so simple that it actually is very hard for some people. So, mm,
it's funny you touched on that. My nana, when I used to go and visit my nana, she always used to have the radio on,
yeah.
always. And what she always used to have was what did Nana have on? The news. And the songs would come up here and there. And I used to tell her, I used to go, Nana. do you know what you're listening to? She goes, I had the news. I'm like, do you even get happy? She goes, no, it gives me anxiety. I'm like, so
Yeah.
why is it on? She goes, it's the only station I like to listen to. I'm just like, nah, nah.
Negative.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean it's the only
Yeah.
station that you like to listen to? And where she just got so caught up with it, and then she'll tell me, sometimes I don't even listen to it, but it's still in the background
Yeah.
and it's still going into your, your thoughts, your brain.
Subconscious.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
become like, we start feeding our conscious brain the unconscious part of it, and that's what we
Yeah.
start living in the unconscious world.
Yeah. Yeah. It filters. It does
Yes.
filter in. So no.
Yeah.
Positive, positive, positive things only.
Yeah, and even just keeping, yeah, exactly, our environment, know what we're putting on. Like sometimes, like
Mm.
how you had just mentioned, we'll have the TV on the background and we don't even know what we're watching because
Yeah.
things are just flooding in, and that
Yeah.
just goes in. So yeah, so positive and consciously,
Yes.
choose deliberately what we're
Mm.
putting into our mouth, into our heads, into our ears, what we're reading, what we're
Every
watching, everything, the five senses, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yes, and we have to be intentional with that, and we have to remind ourselves all the time, not just
Yes.
take whatever is going. Yeah, we'll accept it. No,
No.
no.
No. We have to be in control of our lives.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely,
And
especially
not live on
nowadays.
autopilot.
So,
Exactly. And not live on autopilot.
no, exactly. So, because if you don't have a goal for your health or for, looking after yourself, then you're just going to go with the flow, and the flow can take you anywhere.
Exactly. You're just going to get caught in that riptide and it's just going to
That's
take you
it.
anywhere. And then it's a
Yeah.
long swim back.
Yes. Yes. If we can get back. So there you go. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Laura, in
Jana.
your experience in life, not just
Mm,
about the workshop, what would be like your advice to anyone that's like feeling stuck or feeling frustrated or anger? I relate with the anger because in the beginning, when I first started off my journey about 10, 12
mm,
years ago, I suffered with anger. But
mm,
what I realized it was actually resentment.
mm,
So it was the same thing as you. You had the
yeah.
frustration, but it was coming out as anger. I had
Mm,
the resentment and it was coming out as anger. And then that's where like my journey through personal development coaching came through and I started
mm,
like motivational speaking. And so I
mm.
really relate with with where you were because I had the exact same emotion, was resentment and anger. If you had to tell somebody like a piece of advice or through your life experience, when you were feeling stuck and frustrated and now you're feeling in control, what could you get out of that? What piece of advice could you get out of that and share?
I think sometimes we think that we can do it all on our own. We can do it by ourselves. Um, this is a little issue. It's nothing. It'll pass. And then that
Mm,
becomes a big issue. Or this, oh look, I'll work on it one day, and you don't. Another thing could be that, oh look, I can't be bothered. I haven't got the time. I The best one is, people think, why are you doing that? Why are you going to see a person? Whatever it is. I think if we have an issue that sort of stops us from living our best life or stops us from developing in any certain areas of our life, or even just for the simple fact that, hey, I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to know. So just do something about it. Do something about it. See someone, join a group, find some information, do your research, get a mentor, get someone, a coach, do a course, whatever it is. But I think it's better than just not doing anything and hoping that whatever it is that is bothering you will go on its own. Usually they
it
don't.
doesn't.
It's like the little ball goes rolling down the hill, and as it goes down the hill, it picks up speed and it picks up more stuff. And this little thing turns into, the snowball. So, yeah, do something. Just, just decide. As the Mel Robbins says, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Do it.
Yeah.
And book in, and look, I enjoyed these 5 days. I really did, for many,
Thank
many
you.
reasons, because I do love learning. I do love growing. I usually thirst for knowledge. I've met beautiful people, and, you were just lovely. You were just, you know, how can I explain it? You were very nurturing and very, your teaching ways are very, very simple and very powerful, though. So loved it all. Loved it. It was really good.
Oh, I really appreciate that, Laura. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
And
You're welcome.
and I'd love to feed on that about doing something
Yeah.
because when we don't do something, we bleed ourselves
Mm,
on everybody else,
yeah.
whether it's your kids, your partner, your finances, your
Yeah.
relationship, your personal work, because the frustration, like how you said, keeps on
Mm,
building. It's a snowball effect. And yes,
exactly.
you know,
And the fact is also that you may hear something a couple of times.
yes,
And right, sorry, I've got yeah. You may hear something a couple of times and you think, oh, I know that, or you've read something and you've done something and you think you know it all. Sorry, my battery's running low.
oh, that's
There you go.
okay.
And you think you know it all and you don't get it right. And but then you may hear something that you've heard 20 times before. You may hear it on the 21st time and you think, oh, and it really hits you because, we all are bombarded by information, but sometimes we react better in a certain way it's told to us, whether it's the
Yes.
person, it's the way, it's the voice, it's the look, so as much as I've done a lot of personal development myself, I still got a lot of information. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
I just
Yes.
I learned more, and if I didn't learn it, it reminded me that I did know it and I didn't do anything about it. So I think it's important, as I said, get into action and yeah, go for it.
Guilty as charged. And you know what? And I love how you also picked up on that point. So I have a business mentor, business coach, and I follow a program with her and I do go group coaching and we're like loads of different coaches from different
Yeah,
health industries and niches and whatnot. And I have watched I have watched her program that obviously I bought and I'm following her, her structure.
yeah, yeah,
I have watched it almost, I would just say, let me not exaggerate, but maybe 12 times.
yeah,
And each time I watch the video that I'm learning like a certain strategy, a certain business strategy, whether it's marketing or reaching
mm,
out or whatnot, I go, wow, how did I miss that?
yeah,
Each time that I watch
exactly.
the video that she records.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, or you think, oh, this must be a new bit that they've added or something, because I've never heard that. Yes, yes,
Our brains can only, right, consume and hold so much, especially at a specific, moment
yeah,
in time.
yeah.
Plus, it's like when I read the Bible. I've read the Bible twice, I'm on my third time. And
Hmm.
obviously, we're talking about like a massive book, but like I would highlight certain things in the Bible. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I can really relate to that part, and it would have related differently to me as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Just
absolutely.
reading, the same scripture, the
Yeah,
same passage, I'm just like, whoa, it just opened a whole different new
yeah.
revelation in my life. So yes,
Oh,
I
yeah,
also agree about that. And that's the
absolutely.
unfortunate part with people, in all of different like sectors, right? Would say, oh, I got burnt once by a coach, I got burnt once by a business strategist, I got burnt. C'est la vie, keep on going, try a different coach, try different business strategies, try a different church, try a different whatever it is, try a
Different
different
doctor,
gym,
different hairdresser.
different head. Exactly, exactly. Just keep on going and don't give up because you got burned
Mm,
once. Keep on going because if you
exactly.
want to do something about it, which we were saying, then you need to do something about it. And sometimes
Mm,
doors will close for a
yeah,
reason.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Awesome.
So go
I
for it.
love that advice. Yeah.
It's like I always relate it to, with a mother telling their child something. You tell them over and over and over and over, or your husband, you tell something to your husband, then someone else says the same thing, and they go, "Oh yeah," and then they do it, and you think, "I've been saying this for 10 weeks or whatever," and they didn't believe me. So it's like that. Until you
Yeah,
hear it, when you're ready, sometimes
exactly when you're
you have to
ready.
be ready.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny when you say that as well, like going back to the emotions, like sometimes that obviously happens to me with my husband as well, so many times. I'll be like, are you for real? And then you're
Yeah.
either gonna go in there like with the you're for
Yeah.
real, or you're gonna be like, ah, you know? Oh, like
Exactly.
controlling the emotion and how we like react to that situation when they finally listen to what you've been saying, but from somebody
Mm.
else,
Yeah,
controlling that reaction that you want to have.
that's right. That's right. So, yes, it's just, worthwhile to get whatever you can. And I mean, if it's free, why wouldn't you?
Exactly, exactly. And that was
You
actually
know?
going to be my next question. Because obviously, some people get skeptical.
Yeah,
Like, guys, in 5 days, there's only
mm,
so much that we can work on. So obviously, we're just
exactly.
opening, Pandora's box over here. And then
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
people choose to continue working and doing the program that there is that I, have, or they should say, okay, like this 5 days has been
yeah,
enough, sufficient, or, like I have
yeah,
learned from this.
yes.
I have noticed that like some people would be like, oh, how much can you learn in 5 days? And I must admit as well, guys, how much the workshops are super fast and simple. They're 30
Yeah,
minutes, but we go on to 45 minutes when we talk between us and but the actual teaching itself is 30 minutes. So they're
yeah,
super quick, fast, easy,
yeah,
and
yeah.
implementable. What did you say to someone who thinks that 5 days cannot change anything?
My um my take to that is, and I've learned this the hard way as well myself, because it's really up to you. It's up to you
Mm,
what you're going to do with what you learn, right? So it could be only 5 days, and it could be only five very simple lessons, right? Now, you could do 6 months of quite intensive studies and lessons and whatever. But if you don't apply what you do, you've lost your 6 months. So, in 5
100%.
days and five lessons, if you apply each one well and thoroughly, whatever, 5 days can do a lot. It can be a whole transformation, a complete change. It could be the actual solution to something that is really important in your life that you've needed to sort of solve. So it's up to you. I always bring it back to you. It's like when people say, well, how much money can I make if I join you? And I think, well, how much work are you going to put in? You know, I can't do it. It's you've got to do it. So I would say it's up to them. It's what they're prepared to time to invest in what they've learned.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
That was, yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. Because
Mm,
it's true, because it all gets boiled down to what we end up doing and end up taking and,
yeah.
and accepting as well. Like people, when
Mm,
they'll hear the word challenged, they'll either be like, oh, I
mm,
don't have time, and we're already creating that border for it,
yeah.
for something, that we actually want to heal or solve or
Yeah.
fix in our life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And also, there are many, many people. and I know a few of myself who are knowledge collectors, I suppose, right? They do
Mm.
lots of courses. They pay, thousands for courses. They buy thousands of books and whatever. Knowledge, and they're great. They've got a lot of knowledge within them, but don't necessarily apply the knowledge.
There is no
So
accountability. There is
and
no
that's sad.
accountability.
Yeah.
And that is like one of the main features in
Mm.
like the programs that I work
Yeah.
for, I
Mm.
provide is accountability. Whether it's
Mm.
through one-to-one or through group coaching, there has to be accountability. It's like with
Yeah.
me when I go to the gym. When I go to the gym and I have my either my not my team, my community
Yeah. Yeah.
and my trainer, when I'm
Mm.
not with them, instead of doing 5 push-ups, I'll do 3. But if there's the community over there, I just feel like this power and this
Yeah.
accountability, and I know that,
Yeah.
like, if it's just me and my coach, I'd be like, he'll be powering me on. Be like, come
Yeah.
on, two
I
more.
know. I You do it, but not really keen, but you do it. And that's the best
Exactly.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
That's the
And
power
that's
in community.
yeah, exactly. And also even with the homework that you give, as simple as it is, and it doesn't take much time at all, but you got to do it because the next
You gotta do
day
it.
you're accountable. Yeah,
Exactly. And even in the group.
yeah,
Because we hold
exactly.
accountability in the group, and there's a reason
Yeah.
why they hold accountability in the group. Every
Hmm.
single thing, guys, that I do in the five-day workshop, there is a
Yeah,
reason why for it. So everything is based on our subconscious, the
yeah,
unconscious life that we live to become conscious.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, Lara, thank you
Exactly.
for all that. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about like your life experience or anything that you want to share? And how are you feeling now? Are you feeling more in control? Are you still feeling in action? The last day we had that identity shift and we
Yeah,
created that like physiological movement from stuck to in action, and we know there's a
yeah.
reason. How are you feeling with that? Are you still feeling in control? Are you still feeling in power?
I'm still, the good thing is I remind myself to do the breath work. And I think for things that I have to face and do and so forth, even, phone calls that I need to make, whatever, I think it's important for me to just stop and do that breath work and especially with relationships to avoid that escalation again, and that even when I'm feeling the frustration, to stop,
Take a breather.
do the red breath work, yes, stop, and then continue. And it really, yeah, that was very, very useful, that one. But the one that I thought wouldn't be, in the end was. So there you go.
So there you go. Let's not judge a book by its cover.
That's right. That's right. So yes, yes. Look,
Oh,
I just think I'm glad that I did it. So for various reasons, but this one in particular because it is a daily thing. So small, like we said, doesn't take much, but it makes a powerful impact. So yes, thank you.
yeah. That's okay. Thank you for joining. It was a pleasure, like hosting this with you and all of the other ladies. You guys were awesome. You guys all took action. There was and the community and the way you guys all supported each other because we go
Yeah.
deep. We go
Yes,
deep in feelings, right? So having
absolutely.
that vulnerability, that like
Yeah.
the love that all of you shared together was
Yeah.
really beautiful to see.
Yeah.
Really
And it was,
beautiful.
and there was it was a vulnerable space, but it was a safe space. So it was lovely. And then it also helps you realize it's not just me. So
Yes.
you know that there are other people that everyone goes through their own thing.
Yes.
So yes, good to share as well.
Yep. And I love that. And I'm going to jump on that wagon with vulnerability because obviously we know that we're not the only people that are suffering and going through this experience.
Yeah.
And we all have our own certain situations because
Mm.
nobody has the exact same life. but they all stem down to most of the same negative emotions:
Yeah.
burnout, anger, frustration,
Yeah.
guilt, shame, pain,
Mm.
resentment, etc. So all those situations are different. It all stems down to the same thing. And I
Yeah.
must admit, like, although I've been coaching for the past 10 years and I really implement what I do, and I practice what I preach. I'm a coach that does
Yeah.
practice what I preaches. When I was blessed with the journey of motherhood,
Mm.
I experienced a whole different of vulnerability.
See?
And I said, like, if it wasn't for the community of mothers just telling me, like, it's okay,
Yeah.
we've been there, we got you.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have survived the first trimester. I mean, God was
Yeah.
obviously my stable. I turn to God all the time, but we also need to have that community of humanity, of human.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that really, really helped me of
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. We were not created to be alone. We
no,
were
we
not.
weren't.
Mm. So there you go.
Awesome. Awesome. Lara, thank you so much for
Mm.
sharing all of your life insights, the changes and shifts that you had in the workship. Thank you as well for your kind words.
You're
Um,
welcome.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. It was a lovely, um, it was a beautiful experience. Really enjoyed it and very, very helpful for me now. So thank you.
Awesome. Glad it did help. Alrighty. See ya.
Beautiful. Bye. Thank
Ciao.
you.
Ciao.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.